Alright, looks like we're on, so welcome to Soundcheck, y'all. So, just doing this little, kind of casual stream, so I don't even have my mic or anything, it's just straight from the camera. So I figured we'd just do this a bit more casually. Let's see here. Let's bring up some music and things. Goodness. Where is, I think, yeah, where, Zenbuster. Oh, nice. He's put out a lot of new stuff. Shout out to Zenbuster Music, of course. Streaming music of choice. I like he's been experimenting with like AI art. So you see that with some of the recent stuff. Well, you should mix it up. Come on, Roberto. Regardless, let's go with this 3M study sesh. Music to help me study and relax. It's 10 hours. I don't think we're going to be streaming for 10 hours. But, oh, hold on. Actually, where's my headphones? Yeah, I should probably do this from my headphones instead of speaker. Just so there's less echo and shit, so. Chill to them mates. Welcome to Soundcheck, y'all. Let's see. There we go. I gotta turn this off real quick. Let's try it again. There we go. Okay, cool. Alrighty. So, just making sure. Ohio Gozai morning. What's up, Twin Lamps? So, yeah, we're just getting stuff set up here, and then we're gonna get into this video editing project. Let's just make sure OBS didn't. Okay, it's good. Get some 3M study sessions. Get that going. Okay. Right. Let's. Oh, I haven't labeled that yet. Hold on. Headphones. Okay, I'll turn that down a little bit. About 25, I guess. Shit. Come on. I like that you have this like incremental thing now. Or at least it's more intuitive with the new version. Let's see. Yeah, hopefully it's not too loud. If it is, just let me know. Okay. Should be fine though. Alright, so we got that all set up. Now we get my comments and everything set up. So this is how I dual monitor, guys. I just have my phone set up for my comments, which works for me. You know, it's all good. So, which works for me. You know. All right, cool. Then we'll switch to live chat so I can see everybody. Yeah, because if I just switch to top chat, even if it's just like 1 or 2 people in chat, sometimes it doesn't catch all the messages. So if you say something, especially because like YouTube also has this like profanity filter. So if you do say something and it doesn't show up right away, and if it's a little saucy, I have to like manually approve it. So if you're wondering why there's a little bit of lag for that, sorry. I'm a little slow at my advanced age of nearly 37. Which, by the way, I'll be 37 in 4 days on Wednesday. So, fun times in your boy's life. You know, I'm like broke as shit even though I got paid recently. But regardless. Yeah, fun times. So, alright, so we'll go ahead and switch over to this main project here that I got going on. Sorry, I'm just making sure all the... Okay, maybe we can bump the audio level up a little bit more on here. So I'm trying to make sure it's not like too loud on my end, because sometimes like it swells and it's like, you know. So, all right, cool. So anyway, like I was saying, ADD moment. We'll switch to here. Hi. So we got this new project that I'm working on. It's for Trash Taste, as the name of the stream implies. But I guess before we begin, we should begin the stream properly, so I know where to mark this. Alright, we're live, pal. Once again, baby. So hey, Andy here. And today, we're going to be editing a new project that I'm working on right now for the podcast Trash Taste. It's just kind of an unofficial fan project, so I'm not like commissioned by them or anything like that. Although maybe someday, I don't know. We'll see though. Yo, what up, Connor? Good morning, boss man. What's up? So I got this idea the other day. This project, by the way, is called TT Hell. Here, there we go. And it's basically just like if Trash Taste was done in like an AMV Hell style. I don't know. There's a lot of young bucks in the chat. You probably don't remember what AMV Hell was, but basically it was like anime memes before a lot of that was very widespread. So like this was extremely early YouTube, like 2006, 2007, and you know it started in the AMV, you know, music community as kind of an offshoot, just like something comical. And it's like you got all these like AMV artists coming together to make this sort of compilation, but for this it's just gonna be me. So I pulled together a Greatest Sins video from AMV Hell, having like their greatest AMVs, and I'm gonna make Trash Taste versions of them. So obviously we're not gonna use all of these, or we're gonna par down a significant amount of time in a lot of these, so it's not gonna be quite this long. But I am shooting, yeah, right now the rough cut's about 26 minutes. Yeah, never mind this. This is just for this part right here. Yeah, I'm shooting for probably like 15 or 20 minutes, maybe. Probably gonna be a bit shorter. But just in putting stuff together, probably gonna take out some extra stuff, because there's like some running gags here that I don't want to include quite as much as the original AMV Hell did. So we'll probably par down a lot of them. Wow, it's been a while. Yo, what up, man? How's it going? Good to see ya. Hopefully everybody can see everything fine. Okay, cool. See, I wish I actually had dual monitors. That'd be nice. I mean, technically I could do it with my laptop, but I don't know. It doesn't always work, and especially when editing, sometimes things can get a little squicky. So, but regardless, I think before we get into things, we'll go ahead, since I'm all out of Monster Rehab, we'll go ahead and make some coffee. So I just have a nice little French press, so I might be off screen for a little bit, or you might get to see my nice jammy pants as I'm putzing around my room, putting shit together. But yeah, so hey. Shit, did I? Oh, I didn't clean this out yet. Alright, hold on guys, I gotta clean this out. Be right back. Sorry about that. I tend to forget these things sometimes. So, get the coffee all staged up. See if I missed any comments. Okay, been a while. Probably don't remember me. Ken, we used to talk a lot when I had my old channel. Oh, sweet man, yeah. Well, what's up, Ken? I'm glad that the video helped. Obviously, spoiler alert, right? But excuse me, been a while, dude. I'm glad to see things are going well. Yeah, so for well, I'll talk about it when I get a bit closer to the mic. I don't want to shout in my room. Yeah, I'm just boiling some water. Maybe off camera, I don't know. Can't tell. But just get this coffee all prepped up. Let's see here. And we do 2 scoops and a little extra. Honestly, this is kind of shit coffee. This is just stuff I got from the conveni. Because I as a po kid. So 1, a Tahoo, and just a little something extra. Not quite 3 though. While that kettle is boiling up, I'll just go ahead and stage this later. Yo, what up, MS? How's it going? Yeah, it's been, what, 3 years? Has it really been 3 years? I thought it's been a lot shorter than that. But yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, with some of the old vlogs and stuff, I basically took them down because it's not as relevant to my channel as it used to be. You know, because a lot of the old vlogs were like update videos and stuff. So like, how relevant is a June 2016 update video in December of 2022, right? So, you know, I just took those down. I did put them up in compilations, though. So I made like a whole playlist based on the years. So if you want to like go back and look at some of the old vlogs and stuff, you can. And it's all just in like a nice, neat little compilation by year. But it's not really as much of a mainstay on my channel anymore. And I think moving forward, like every year, I'll unlist the previous year's vlogs and then put them in a compilation. You know, just to keep things nice and fresh on the channel. You know, talking about actually visiting Japan maybe next year. Yeah, right on, man. And the country's open now. We're open for business. So, that's cool. Can't drink coffee at all, and it tastes good to me. Brush it next. Yeah, right. It's gotta be tea, right? I mean, I drink tea too, but it's just herbal tea, so it's not like actual tea. Although I drink that sometimes too. But usually just as like a habit, I just drink tea at night, just to help me get to bed. It's nice and calming. Whereas the heretical bean juice, as my friend Areopolis, twitch.tv/Areopolis, by the way, I'm wearing his merch. That's what he calls it. You know, heretics bean juice, or heretical bean juice, I think is what he calls it. He's definitely a tea guy for sure. And it's like me, I like both, but I like them for different purposes, you know? So, but yeah, you know, Japan's open to tourists and stuff, so, you know, once inflation kind of starts calming the fuck down, then people can actually come here a bit more. You know, right now it's just like a little trickle because, you know, inflation and obviously holidays, big factor. Not too many people coming during Christmas time, which is fine, you know. Not in Japan next year. I might drive off a cliff so I can stick the landing. Don't worry about it, Connor. Japan will always be here. You know, I kind of thought the same thing when I left Japan the first time, because I was thinking like, fuck man, I just lost my chance to like really stay here, you know, because I liked, you know, when I was stationed, yeah, right. But yeah, when I was stationed in Yokosuka, I was thinking like, I'm not gonna get another opportunity to go back to Japan. I'm gonna have to like save up and grind and do all this, that, and the other to even maybe sniff an opportunity of something like that. But anyway, my kettle's done. So I'm back in the mix with Lazy Nina, walking the dog and watching Soul Train. So I spent a little over a week in South Africa. It's expensive. Oh wow, South Africa. How's it, bro? Nice. That might be a bit much, but save the rest for later. Yeah, everything's just so damn expensive now. I guess if there's any sort of silver lining to all this, is that the yen is starting to appreciate a little bit more. So it used to be like 150 yen to the dollar. So if you were getting paid in dollars and living here, you were fucking living the life. If you're getting paid in yen, you ain't getting shit. But now that's starting to even off a little bit. So it's now back up to, I think, 130 yen last I checked. So it's getting back to where it was, which is good because I'm getting paid in yen now. If I was getting paid in dollars, I might be a little more upset, but regardless, 130 yen is still pretty damn good to the dollar. Old burger buck. Yeah, I've just been keeping an eye on it. You know, the best thing to do is just track Google, see how to do that. Okay, so I think because editing is going to take a lot, we'll just kind of mute and unmute the tracks as needed, because there's a lot of like copyrighted stuff here, so I'm probably not going to get this monetized at all. But we'll see. See if the monetization gods are on our side. Yeah, it's 18 to the dollar. Nice. So I'm basically doing like a full recreation of the intro. So I found the AMV Hell font, changed it to the Trash Taste purple. Then I found this like explosion green screen, and just it still has a little bit of the green tinges. I tried my best to key it completely out, but I couldn't. So yeah, it is what it is. And now what I'm working on is trying to match this sort of where is it? This you know, like TV, and then this sort of wave distortion type transition to that. So I have a couple of transitions that I've downloaded from this website called Mixit, and we'll see if these work. So I have them as different Premiere projects, so we'll see if these work. Oh right, these are older, so I have to update them real quick. Glitch transition, the fuck is you on? Okay, I guess. That's it. It's just the one? Oh, that's kind of fucked. Okay, never mind. So it just has the... What the fuck? Well, that's kind of dumb. These free-ass websites. Swear to God. I swear to God. You get pending, and then you got this other glitch at the bottom. Unless that's supposed to be where you put in, like, your footage. Oh, I see. So, say for instance, okay, so we'll just, like, I don't know, cut this little bit out. For instance, okay. Let's see what we got going on here. Nice. Now, okay, never forget when we went to Turkey. It's like 1 pound of 4 lira. 1 pound of 6, and then yeah, I was listening to I don't know if you guys follow Trash Taste, but there was a guest on a while back, John. He's a former host, like a Japanese host, and he's also like half Japanese, half Turkish, so he goes and kind of talks about that sometimes in his live streams and stuff. And he was telling me about that too. I was like, oh shit, man, that's rough. That's some fucking rough nuts. Alright, so what we'll do, we'll see if this works. I'm not sure if this is gonna work or not, but yeah, let's see here. Not sure if that's what it's meant to be, because yeah, I don't think there's anything in particular about this one. Okay, we can probably back this down to 200. Is it 200? Yeah, 200. Halfway through today's episode, dropped like 4 hours ago. Yeah. Oh yeah, a lot of tour talk. I was just about done with that one before I came on stream. I got like through most of it. I got to like the Ohio section and I was like, that's funny that their like only Ohio tour date is in fucking Cleveland. Like y'all are fucking tripping, man. That's fucked up. So fucked up. Ah, okay. Ah, I see. Okay. So you don't need glitch transition too, technically. It's just a fucking like little stand-in thing. Okay, got it. So you just put fucking whatever down here, then you just put this glitch shit up top, and that'll be the transition. Yeah, so you have this sort of shit. Okay. Not quite what I'm looking for. I mean, it looks cool, but it's not quite what I'm looking for. So let's go with. See, that was the digital static transition one. We'll go for retro interference. I have a lot of good feelings about this one. See if this one. Same shit again. Okay. Yeah, fine. All right. So take the same one. Get rid of that, and we'll just. Yeah, because there's like nothing on this one, so this is just meant to be a substitute sort of deal. Looks like. But yeah, they went to fucking Cleveland. I think that was like their only Ohio tour date, I believe. And I'm like, fucking really? Jesus Christ. Alright, let's see here. Okay. That's kind of it. A little too dark though. Yeah, it's not quite wavy enough. Like, it's kind of it. You got Columbus. That's the capital, man. That's, I'd say, even though it's gonna piss my friend Zach off, he's from Ohio. I'd say probably Columbus is the better of the 3 C's, because you got Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati. Cincy's got some good stuff too. But Cleveland is like the fucking dirt worst. Like, why the fuck did they go to Cleveland? They could have just went to Columbus. Or at least Cincinnati. Ohio goes I morning in it. What's up, Chast? Or Chased, excuse me. Ask you fluent Japanese. Fuck no. Nihongo wa zen wakarimasen. Stall-san. Yeah, I don't know shit. I mean, nah, it's not entirely true. I know enough to like get by as far as like how to order stuff and how to ask for directions and what is this? How much is that? Where are we going? What's all that? I did a live stream a couple weeks ago where I was talking with this Japanese dude. He just kind of approached me as I was walking around, and I was like so fucking nervous because like I was not prepared. I was just like having a casual hangout with everybody, doing a little IRL streaming, and yeah, I didn't really know how to like get him to leave me alone, because like it was kind of nice and wholesome to talk to him, but after a while it's just like, all right, buddy, you know, we gotta go our separate ways, you know, just bye. You know, but I couldn't tell him no. I'm too fucking Midwestern, man. I swear to God. I'm too fucking polite to just be like, hey. Yeah, the IRL streams are kind of a rarity because I got to keep in mind my data. So if I go too hard on my data and stream too long, it gets throttled for like a month, and I can't use my phone at all. So I have to be very cautious about that stuff. Yeah, he didn't really read the room. Yeah, you were there for that. Yeah. Yeah, it was really chill. I was trying to be as polite as I could, and in fairness, he was very nice. He was very nice. It's just I didn't know enough Japanese to be like, hey man, you know, I appreciate hanging out, but you know, was it Kuki no Yonderu? Like read the room, or read the air, is what it literally translates to. I'm live streaming here. Yeah, he had no concept of YouTube or live stream, and he just thought I was holding some weird gaijin contraption or some shit. Like I'm fucking Doc Brown or something. I mean, I got the hair, it's not white yet, but, you know, he just thought I was some kind of weird gaijin with a funky little device. You know. Like, that's a funky looking cheeseburger holder. That's not a gun, is it? What are you doing around here, son? You know. And I was pretty much at like my limit as far as speaking Japanese with him. You know, because there was like a lot of questions that I thought I knew, but I was still like very nervous because, you know, even if I wasn't on stream, I'd still probably be like that nervous talking to him in Japanese. But because I was also on stream, I was even more nervous. So I'm just like, fuck, man. It's like, you know, like if I'm prepared to like talk in Japanese, like if I go to a Japanese store, I know I'm meeting up with Japanese friends, you know, I kind of like prepare myself a little bit, right? You know, kind of get into that mood. But he caught me so fucking off guard. I appreciate it, man. I really do. He just caught me so fucking off guard, and I was just like, it's like, you know, you get a pop quiz or something like that, and I was just like not prepared at all, and I'm just like, fuck. You know? But I did my best, and he seemed pretty happy with things. He walked me to the station, which is like way the fuck away, and he could have backed out at any moment, but he was a real trooper, man. Even after the stream fucking died and everything, like, there was a fair walk to the fucking station. I didn't realize it was going to be that long. I was just kind of, you know, walk to the station. I thought it was just going to be maybe a kilometer or two. But I think altogether was like fucking 7 or 8 kilometers. Something like that. It was a bit of a walk. Bonjour, oui, oui, petit fromage. Hon, hon. They speak English seeing you walk around if you approach anyone? Some do. Usually in Tokyo, there's a lot of people that kind of approach you and speak English. The level of English kind of varies. Like usually it's like, you know, the 3 or 5 words that they memorized in junior high school, and they're like, yeah, I fucking got this. Hello, yes, yes, little cheese. Nice. Yeah, that's pretty much all I know. But also, you know, in meeting Japanese people, they also ask you like a standard set of questions here. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I think we can put this project on hold. Choto lattes. Yeah, let's just switch to regular S view here, cause he kind of got me started here. Yeah, okay. So we still got music rolling, right? Yes. Okay. So I'll just take this fucking shit off then, cause I don't need it anymore. I really got to get like a proper overlay setup and shit on here, don't I? This is like way too vanilla, even for my vanilla self. So I'll just bring this up because I'm not working, so I don't need the monitor. Anymore. So switch to live chat so I can see everybody, see if I missed anything. Yeah, the English thing. So In meeting Japanese people, I found that they ask you kind of like a standard set of questions here. Let me change the title here. So we'll go from video editing stream to chill stream. It's the fuck. I accidentally hit the caps lock. It's the freaking weekend, baby. There we go. Learning Japanese with Auntie. Oh god, no, that would be terrible. I mean, you're learning about Japanese culture, sure, but learning actual Japanese, I'm not the guy. I am 1,000% not the guy. But I can share what I learned, of course, but if you want to actually learn Japanese, I'm 1,000% not that guy. Okay, so we got the charger back on. But yeah, like I was saying, they basically, oh yeah, that's alright. They basically ask kind of a standard set of questions when it comes to interacting with foreigners, right? So you get the, did you know that Japan has 4 seasons? How many seasons does your country have? 4? Although to be fair, like in some countries, it's not always the case. You know, like, especially for like island countries, you know, it's like either rainy season or not rainy season. Yeah, why are you here? Why come Japan? That's the big one. That's like the fucking heavy hitter doing some hard knock investigative journalism. I'm gonna ask this random white guy with big poofy hair, why you American come Japan? I was like, I don't know, I just like it here, man. You know? Yeah, I know, right? So they say, did you know Japan has 4 seasons? And even the old guy said it when I was talking to him in the stream. So yeah, so basically, why are you here? Do you know that Japan has 4 seasons? Does your country have 4 seasons? Can you use chopsticks? Do you like Japanese food? Are you dating a Japanese girl? Or sorry, are you dating somebody and is she Japanese? When are you going back home? There's a couple others, but those are like the main ones. Those are like the hard-hitting investigative journalism type shit. Like he's fucking Washington Post Tokyo edition. 3 a.m. You know? But yeah, the whole getting invites to Old Colonial Macaroni. Yeah, this... Oh, by the way. Cover your mouths, children, because this is a pen! これはペンです。そうだよ。もしかして、このは、ペンですか？そうですね。ペンだよ。そんな。Is this a fucking pen, yo? This is a pen. And I wonder why these English teaching gigs won't hire me. I can tell people what a pen is. Just fucking hire me, goddamn. But that's a whole nother video. Yeah, why are you here? Why come Japan? Stuff like that. Do you know how to choose chopsticks? Yeah. Yeah, I just like living here, you know. It's convenient in a lot of ways, but also extremely inconvenient in other ways. Yeah, it's because we're running around telling people what pens are. So, obviously, clearly. But yeah, you know, it's nice and convenient living here. The cost of living is very low. The pay is also low, too. But, you know, you can get very affordable housing and kind of get by in life without worrying too much about money, generally. Certainly a lot less than, you know, if I was living in the States and working part-time and hell, even full-time. You know, I'd still be fucking struggling. And, yeah, that's why I'm trying to stay here in Japan as best I can because, you know. Shit, man. We've been talking a lot. I haven't even poured this coffee out yet, so it's probably, like, mad fucking, bitter. Government assistance, sometimes. Sometimes I get some help. But not that often. If you're thinking like unemployment or something like that, like, it's kind of a set system here where, as opposed to America where, taxes pay for it and stuff. I mean, it does get paid by taxes here in Japan as well, but you basically have to pay into the system in order to access unemployment. And there's like different systems and shit. So you have to like sign up for the unemployment program before you get fired. And then once you get fired or laid off or whatever, then you can apply for it and you just get a little bit of bennies. As opposed to being like a fresh college graduate, and I don't even think they help their own college graduates all that much, to be honest. It's just a fucking scam to like get them to work long hours for like a pittance. Like I was looking at the kind of what you get paid per hour working like a full-time salaryman job versus a similar like Autobaito part-time gig. And the Baito people actually make more per hour than the salaried employees. But obviously, you don't make as much overall because you're not working as many hours. And you don't get the same benefits as salaried employees do. Like even getting compensated for travel. Like some companies, if you work part time, you will get compensated, but it's only up to a certain amount. Like usually it's around like 1,000 yen a day, which thankfully I just barely fall under that. Like I go a little over, but thankfully my employer is like, it's fine, But yeah, so the UK embassy in Tokyo. Never been to the UK embassy. I've been to the Colombian embassy, been to the American embassy, obviously because I had to renew my passport, and it was like, yeah, it's definitely the most like American experience I've had in a while. And being in Japan for as long as I have been, without ever leaving, it was a bit of a first culture shock. Like going into an old building, it basically, to me, it looks like an old American post office on the inside. Outside just kind of looks like standard embassy fare. You got fucking patted down. You got to go through security and get all this fucking people like letting you in through like 3 or 4 different gates and stuff before you get to the actual embassy part, which is just basically a post office. Like it was just kind of, so what this is. Because I've only been there once, and that's to renew my passport. And actually it was really nice on the inside. The people in there were like super friendly and so cooperative with me for stuff, and it's just like, yeah man, it's fucking whatever. I was like, oh, cool. So yeah, so that was cool. But yeah, the Colombian embassy, I only went there for work, so it was a much different experience, much more easier to manage, we'll say. Have you been to any other embassy? I mean, I passed by a lot of them. A lot of them are in like the ritzy parts of Tokyo. So like think Meguro and Akasaka. There's embassies out that way. So you just walk around those areas. Azabujuban, stuff like that. You see a lot of just kind of random embassies pop up. It's like, oh, so that's where the Indian embassy is. Huh. Yeah, but they're like randomly clumped together. There's no like rhyme or reason for it. It's just kind of walking around. You got your little Family Mart. You got your McDonaldo off in the corner, and then that's the Indian embassy. Okay. Weird. I haven't seen the Russian one. That's got to be a fucking trip. But yeah. Right next to natural history and science and massive tourist attractions. Yeah, of course. But yeah, I definitely do want to go to some like more IRL. Oh, lol. And I'm sure it's out there. Oh, that reminds me. I did get. I wasn't personally invited or anything. I just saw this on LinkedIn the other day. But apparently, um, the United Arab Embassy and Qatar are looking, or Qatar, excuse me. I think I'm saying that right. I don't know. Regardless, um, they're looking for some employees for the embassy and for like certain gigs and stuff. And I'm like, I mean, they do pay a lot, but at the same time, I might not make it out alive if I do, you know. So, it's a little yabe as fuck, if you know what I'm saying. Um, Sorry, I was just right outside Tokyo Tower. Yeah. Oh, of course it exists, but I just don't go looking for embassies. Embassies just kind of randomly appear. Yeah, I'm not in any hurry to go work for them. I don't want to get this to be all like political and shit, because that's not what this is about. But yeah, it's just one of them things. Tokyo Tower Rush is so replaceable. Anyway, what the fuck was I talking about? I forgot. So there's that, looking through LinkedIn and stuff like that. And then just looking through like, Craigslist and stuff like that. And Craigslist, sometimes you can find some pretty decent jobs in there. But you have to like kind of put on your like scam goggles. Because a lot of like the really good jobs don't really advertise on Craigslist. So you have to kind of filter through as like, is this a scam? Because I found like some videographer positions on Craigslist. Every once in a while they pop up. It's not very often, but sometimes they do. So I keep an eye on it. And I tried getting this one gig working for this one guy. He does like he has a very his niche is like very very strange. So like he's known for being like a toy. I'm not gonna out him completely because there's a lot of channels that are like this, but he's known for like a like toy reviews and stuff like that. But he also like interviews girls on the street and gets a little, like really low production and shit like that. And I was talking to him. I was like, hey man, I can like bring my camera and stuff. We can make this look nice. He's like, nah, I just feel more comfortable using my old ass iPhone. And we got girls on the street and you don't speak Japanese, so they're gonna be a little sketched out by you and shit. And yeah, that's probably why we're not gonna hire you. I'm like, oh, okay. But he was like not really paying all that much, but it was still kind of a consistent gig I could do on weekends. So it just kind of fell through. I was just like, nah. And then there was another gig. It was for English teaching. This was out in as if he doesn't sketch them out himself, right? Right? He's like way more sketch than me, man. But regardless, there was another gig that was out in the like Western Tokyo, like Tachikawa type area, and it was for an English teaching gig, and it was this like small little school, so it wasn't like one of the big ones. I got a story about the big ones; those are coming up next. But this little school had a guy running it. He's one of them like typical gaijin that's been living in Japan for a hot minute, and those, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain to people who don't know, because like when you live here, you meet all different types of foreigners. You meet obviously like the sex pests, like we talked about earlier. You meet the fresh off the boat people, a lot of those students, stuff like that. But you also meet a lot of like long-term expats, and they come in. Oop, did my phone? Oh shit! Hold on. Choco latte. Apparently my headphones decided to just be like, nah, we good, man. Sex pat. Oh yeah, them too. Okay, is this? Oh, I must have paused it. Okay, yeah, I'll just tilt the speaker down so hopefully it doesn't echo too loudly. Or maybe, we'll just do it this way. So we'll just mute it on the speakers, but you guys can, maybe not. Nah, it's not working, is it? Shit. I'm gonna turn up just a little bit. It's still not working. God damn it, hold on. Oh, because it switched. Okay. Let's see if this works. Zip that down. Okay, so you guys can still hear the music and stuff. Okay, cool. Yeah, I just didn't want it to like echo because I had to like switch to speakers. But apparently you guys can still hear it if the OBS EQ is to be believed. So, Annie Husenberg. Love being British because it doesn't matter where you're from. If you live here long enough, everyone sees British. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's kind of the deal with certain parts of America too. Just depends on where you're from, of course. But yeah, getting back to Japan though, like you also meet a lot of like long-term expats, and they generally come in like two flavors. You get the guys who've been in Southeast Asia just a little too long and never like went back to their home country to like either visit family or just hang out or whatever. They just like live in Asia, you know? And they're generally kind of nice, but a little fucking nutty, you know? It's like there's just something that's just like really off about them. It's really hard to describe. You know, they inherit a lot of like Japanese mannerisms and things, and obviously there's like forgetting English words and stuff, which is very common. If you speak a lot of Japanese, you tend to forget English. But they adopt a lot of little mannerisms, you know. Like, so I was at the so I was at the thing doing this with Mr. Tadano, and it's so great. You know, they do like the English teacher type, like Genki voice, you know, or they just break it down like very simple, you know, very like articulate, well, not like, you know, complex, but just like very easily understood, not native level English, basically is what I'm trying to say. And they adopt a lot of like you know, that kind of shit. Oh my god. There's this one dude, we'll get into that story later. I'm very tempted to start it now, but we'll get into it in a bit. He did that a lot. But regardless, so like I said, long-term expats generally come in two flavors. You either get that fucking guy who's been in Asia just a little too long. Oh, is it too loud? Shit, my bad. Oh, shit, that's why. My bads. Okay. Is that better? Yeah, I forgot I had the desktop audio like cranked a bit higher. Sorry. Yeah, it should be good, hopefully. But yeah, if anything like that happens, just let me know. But yeah, these guys have been in Japan/Asia a little too long, so they adopt a little too many like weird mannerisms, or they're just like fucking mad about everything, you know? They got a wife and they're in like this weird sort of deadbed marriage where they either don't live with each other or they sleep in separate rooms. And when they do sleep together, it's only when her boyfriend says it's okay, right? And there's also the long-term expat who's just like completely at peace with themselves, and they're just like in this sort of Zen type state. And those are like, they're not rare, they're pretty common actually, but those are the expats you want to be around because they'll teach you a lot of stuff, and they're very generous with things. You know, thankfully a couple of them are my friends, and they've really taught me a lot about life in Japan, especially if you're looking to stay here for the long term. So those are some good influences, but the salty, weird ass long term expats, nah, fuck those guys. They're in their own weird little gaijin bubble. It's fucking odd. But anyway, so this guy I was interviewing with at the little school out in Tachikawa. Yeah, the sexpats, generally they're kind of short-termers. They're just kind of like doing a little cruising and perusing around Southeast Asia. Sometimes you get like some longer-term expats becoming sexpats. But it's usually the ones that are just kind of in town for the weekend or whatever. Those are the ones that are the most common. But anyway, getting back to this school out in Tachikawa. So I was interviewing with this guy, and he seemed pretty friendly, but just a little odd. So I was automatically getting like, shit, he's one of them weird ass long term expats, isn't he? Just because he had like really, well, I don't mean to be a dream crusher, but he just had like these weird little mannerisms, and he would always use like the same words and things, and it was a little off. But yeah, you know, we can get into him later. But there's just something kind of off about him at first. But I figured, you know, maybe it's just me just being snooty about things, whatever. So I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt and be like, yeah, you know, maybe he's just a nice guy or whatever. And so we do like a couple of phone interviews, and he wants me to come in to the office for an in-person interview. So it took me a while to find this place because it's not in Tachikawa, it's near Tachikawa, and I've never been in that area before. So even with the GPS, like, it didn't really give me that good of directions. I even went on the website and kind of like was looking around, and I'm like, where the fuck is this place, dude? And it was at night, and I mean, it was a pretty nice town actually. You know, it was kind of a smaller little Tokyo suburb. They had like the little old-fashioned lights and stuff hanging up, like street lamps and stuff like that. It was actually really nice looking. So, you know, would I go back to there just to gallivant around? Maybe. But yeah, so I was just kind of looking around for the place, and you know, it's in this weird sort of corner, just upstairs, and there's no like direct path to get upstairs. So I was looking at like, okay, which staircase actually leads me to that place? Because I've gone to a couple in-person interviews before where I would think that I was in the right building, but I wasn't. I was in like the building next door because I went up the wrong staircase or went in the wrong elevator in some cases. So I was very aware, very cognizant of that. So anyway, it took me a little bit of time to get up there. And when I went up there, you know, his wife was there, gave me a little glass of water or something like that. You know, she's very nice. Then he's like, okay, so I want you to do this test. And he gave me like a spelling test. And well, first he gave me like an English problem-solving test, where it was like, you know, pick the word that most fits this sentence and things like that. And then he gave me like a 25-word spelling test. Yeah, he didn't give me that kind of test, which is another reason why I denied that job, because he was very much one of those people. Don't want to get into specifics because YouTube, but if you know, you know. So that's the reason I turned down that job. One of the big reasons. But anyway, I go through all this test, and I may or may not have been a little merry at that time, but I fucking just aced it anyway. And did a little interview, asking some questions and things. And he said, "Yeah, we'll be in touch and stuff." I was thinking like, fuck, I totally fucked this interview, because you know I've seen that before, where it's like, "Yeah, we'll be in touch. We'll be in touch. You know, keep an ear out for your phone. We got you." And I'm like, I fucking ain't getting this job. And even when I knew I wasn't getting that job, you know, he just said a lot of like, you know, sort of like pandemic type weird conspiracy type shit. And I'm just like, I can't be around you. You know, it's just one of them things where, you know, if you're around that environment, you know, perception's reality with a lot of cases. So people think that, like, you're one of those people, and it also kind of influences the other people around you as well. And it's just one of them things, man. You know, if you touch shit, you're gonna smell like shit, basically. So I'm just like, after dealing with it before, as you may or may not know, I decided just to not get involved with stuff like that. Yeah, especially if it's my boss. So he seemed like a nice enough guy, but there was a lot of red flags there to where I'm like, maybe not. Which is unfortunate because, like, boss aside, it was actually a pretty good gig. You know, it's just a nice little part-time gig. It was an area that's a bit off the beaten path. It was just an English teaching job, nothing too strenuous, but it was just a nice little private school. You could pretty much do whatever. They had like a basic curriculum, but they kind of gave you carte blanche to zhuzh it up however you want. So the gig was actually pretty nice, but there's a lot of weird red flags with the boss to make me think, is he gonna fuck with my pay? Because a lot of those private schools, I've heard a lot of horror stories about those to where they just like really fuck with your pay and stuff, and I'm like, I can't afford that, you know. So I was just like, thanks for your time. I didn't tell him that. I was just thinking, like, I bombed the interview. So I was just like, okay, whatever. Dodge that bullet. And apparently, and I didn't see this until, like, the next day, because I was at work, so I had my phone turned off at work. But apparently he was, like, blowing my phone up. And he then sent me an email saying, well, I tried calling you, but I guess, you know, to say that you've been accepted for the job, but I guess, you know, the feeling's not mutual, so we're going to move on with other candidates. Best of luck in your future ventures and stuff. I'm like, it only took you like a day of trying to blow up my phone to be like, well, I guess this guy's not interested. And I'm thinking, well, maybe I was busy, you asshole. And that's when I knew. It was just like, okay, if he's going to pitch a little hissy fit at something like that, and just like throw assumptions my way, instead of just being like, hey, we tried to reach out, we'd love for you to come in on such and such date or whatever, something like that, then I would have been more receptive. But the fact that he was all like passive aggressive with the language and shit, well, I guess the feeling's not mutual and stuff, and I'm just like, dodged a bullet there. And he's still advertising on Craigslist even to this day. So he still has not found a candidate. And I just can't understand why. Gee golly gosh, audience. Can you figure out why this guy can't hire anybody? It's a mystery. Yeah, it's a mystery. But yeah, so moving on from that, before I got that interview, I got an interview with a pretty big English teaching school chain. Yeah, right? Yeah, if he wants me to come in on Saturday or Sunday or something like that, and he like sends me an email at 2 a.m. when I'm fucking fast asleep, and I wake up at like 6 or 7 to just a fucking wall of text of, well, I guess you're not coming into work today, are you? So, you know, best of luck in your future ventures. And I'm like, you know. Right on. So yeah. So anyway, I interviewed for this this big school chain, and you know what? I don't mind outing these guys because they're a bunch of fuckheads. So it's the Yaruki Switch Group. They're in charge of like Kids Duo and a bunch of other sort of spin-off type schools. A lot of companies kind of do this. You know, like there's kind of like this sort of like main group that's in charge of all these other little franchise schools. So I got an interview with these guys, and the one guy interviewing me, I'll keep his name anonymous because he seemed like a nice guy, but like I said, he's one of them like long-term expats that is just fucking weird. And so he's doing a lot of the like, so Andoru-san, yes, we would love to have you here at Kids Duo. Yes, very much, deshoka. Okay, so how are you interested in learning teaching, sorry, English, how are you interested in teaching English to young children here in Japan? And I'm just, it's immediate fucking, like, boner killer, just fucking, I just knew, like, from the onslaught of me actually talking to this person that I do not want to work here. Even though he's just the recruiter and I'm probably not going to see him if I even accepted the job. But if these are the type of people that they're hiring to recruit people to come in, just imagine the fuckleheads that I'll have to deal with if I actually accepted the offer. But I basically went through like 40 minutes of talking to him, and like I said, he was nice, but just really fucking weird. And then he passed me on for another interview at a later time with this other candidate who, I believe she was Chinese or something. She was like very direct with her language and just very like trying to fucking hammer me with questions. And, yeah, right? Yes, will you be my, 英語が分からへんだよ。will you be my, supervisor でございます。Yes. Yes. Yes. And I'm just like, fucking kill me, dude. Fucking kill me. It's so bad. Oh my word. But anyway, so I was getting this interview with this one lady. I'm pretty sure she was either Chinese or like a returnee Japanese. She was very, very straightforward with her language, and just hammering me with a bunch of questions and stuff. And I had like, it was almost like lightning round of questions. So there was no like, so, Mr. Japandi, if that is your real name, we hear that you do video editing. It was not this like sort of like nice, calm, just sipping my cup of coffee, having a nice little chat. With the Miss Lee or whatever her name was. I forget, honestly. But it was just fucking like hammering questions like, if a child did this, what would you do? Why do you want to teach kids? Why come to Japan? Why are you here? It was just like, shit, dude. I couldn't be like, hey, ma'am, I really just need a visa and a paycheck. Can you just, like, just woosah a little bit? It's not fucking DEFCON 5 here. We're not saving lives. We're just teaching kids the egos sometimes. It's not a fucking life or death situation here. But yeah, she was just hammering me with all these questions. But the immediate fucking deal breaker for me was, she was like, if you get hired by this company, you will have to terminate all of your freelance contracts and you can no longer work for anybody else. We need you 100% dedicated to the task of teaching children the glory and elegance of English. Are you up to the task, Mr. Japandi? If that is your real name. I've not seen your Cyber card. You could be Greg from down the street for all I know. If that is your real name. But, so the fact that I would have to like no longer be able to do freelancing or anything like that, I'm just like, no. I mean, I kind of gave her like the sort of workaround. I was like, well, maybe I could talk with them, just kind of indirect answer. But inside my head is like, no. If I could end this call, I would. But cocksucking, damn it, I am way too nice and too Midwestern to just be like, oh, I have a bad connection. Goodbye. And just yank my webcam out. I'm going through a tunnel. Ooh. Oh, I'll have to call you back later. Because I did the interview from home, you see. That's the joke. So I was literally sitting right here talking in the webcam the whole time. Oh, sorry, ma'am. Going through a tunnel. Oh, boy. Yo, what up, Deck One? How you doing today? So, pretty much after that interview, I'm just like, I don't really trust any of these English teaching companies. And I know, I get it. You know, at the end of the day, it's just an entry-level job. It's just a visa and a paycheck. You know, I'm not expecting any sort of major, you know, vertical growth or anything like that. Even lateral growth is, meh. But, you know, it's a way to keep me gainfully employed. So that's just kind of how I took it. But even then, it's just like, come on, guys. It's like everybody thought they were like, oh, fucking everything, dude. But it's okay. You can go back and watch the post show if you missed anything. I was just basically talking about like my experiences getting interviewed for English teaching companies and how it's all just a fucking bullshit ass racket, no matter how you slice it. And they're all just full of fucking crazy people. No, I got my visa. I mean, it's a designated activities, so it's just job hunting. But I don't have my work visa yet, if that's what you're asking. That's been my life, man. It's been my life. Oh yeah. So I've been looking for just a bunch of other jobs, and right now it's kind of slim pickings, just because throwing on a suit. Yeah, I've had the money, but actually though, like Japanese people seem to like the froey hair. Even when I like cut my hair, like they don't really care. Or even if I grow out my hair, they don't care. You know? So I'm just, you know, sometimes, you know, I get like gel and like slick it back and stuff and it's fine, but I'm just kind of going au natural today because I don't give a fuck. It's the freaking weekend, baby. Next. Shameless expat trauma. Ah, Jesus. The fucking JCJ invading. Ay. Yeah, that's the truth, Daquan. I do have 99 problems, bitch ain't one though. Yes, because I too enjoy the cringe. Any Hanakos yet? Dude, if I hooked up with Hanakos, I wouldn't be living in this fucking shitty ass guest house. You know, I'd be fucking suckling on that fucking teat. Like, I wouldn't even be on stream. I kid. Just a little bit. Shoto dake. Take the first job you can get, man. Gotta start somewhere. Yeah. It's just work culture shock. Yeah, it's just... I fucking hate it, man. You know, like... Yeah, it's just... Even if I do get a, like, non-English teaching job, and it's just... Yeah. You know, like, the more I see it, the more I'm just like... Should probably go back to America. You know? But I am gonna... So yeah, I'm good till end of April. So, I had a non-teaching job, which you left it right. I haven't left it yet. But, yeah, land of cheeseburgers and guns, son. Because even if I'm homeless, at least I won't have to worry about visas anymore, right? Yeah, we're not getting into this conversation. But regardless. Yeah, so I have like just a little part-time gig. I'm not getting into specifics, but yeah, I just got this little part-time gig. Kind of is what it is, you know. But I am trying to get something a bit more substantial out here. Bang bang. And I have until April, so it's not going to be... Yeah, just overall quality of life is definitely better here in Japan. So I definitely do want to make a good go of it here, for sure. So if I do decide to go back to America, at least I'll know that I did my best and can go back with no regrets. And plus, you know, I got my college degree for what it's worth. Probably not a whole lot these days, but, you know, even if I'm not able to get a job from that degree, I can always come back to Japan. Yeah. I suppose. I actually wouldn't mind living on the beach in America, but good luck with that. So, yeah, no luck with any of the Eikaiwa or any of the big chains. You missed like a whole fucking thing I did on one of the big chains, and yeah, it's just, you know. So. And then look for a new job. Because nobody will hire me. That's the thing. So I kind of fucked myself by only getting like video editing gigs and video production gigs because I don't have any relevant experience in anything else. You know, the last non-video editing job that I had was working part-time at McDonald's, and that was fucking years ago. Visa from your current job and leave. Well, that one guy, in fairness, he like blew up my phone when I was at work, and that was, yeah, like Chase saying, it was only part-time, so it wasn't a Visa sponsored gig. If it was Visa sponsored, I could probably, you know, just gut it through, but it was just part-time, and I'm like, I'm too old for that nonsense. So, you know, if he got all fucking butthurt that I wasn't returning his calls for like one day, then I'm like, you know. Yeah, see, Dequan, that is actually something I was thinking about, was going to a language school. Because, like, every single, wouldn't you know it, funny enough, you live in Japan, a lot of these jobs want you to speak Japanese. What a concept. But, yeah, they pretty much just shut my shit down entirely once they find out I can't speak Japanese. At least enough in like a corporate environment, you know. So, as you guys saw if you tuned into that old live stream, yeah, like when I was at uni, because it wasn't, I mean, it was taught at uni, but I already like filled the requirements for foreign language when I went to the uni that I went to. So, can't even find labor jobs. Yeah, it's just kind of whatever. But, you know, it's winter, so, you know, the job market's kind of shit right now, generally. So I'm just waiting until next year for it to, like, really kick up. And if I still can't find anything by then deuce. So, I'll just sell all my shit and fucking move. So that's the plan, anyway. But, yeah, I definitely do want to get, like, a language school sort of situation going. I just don't have the money for it right now. So that's why I want to get a job, so I can, because, you know, there's some jobs that actually, and I've seen this in a couple of jobs where they send you to like a language school, or they give you either discounts or it's like part of the employment package, you know, like free benefits and stuff, where you can, you know, go to a language school or whatever. Yeah, I mean, I could, but yeah. It's just right now I'm looking more for a job than I am learning a language, you know. That's a bit of a better fix versus like learning a few extra kanji, you know. But yeah, it just kind of is what it is. So, but in brighter news, it's not all fucking dour and sour. So, in brighter news, I do have a couple of interviews lined up for next week. So, we'll see how that goes. So, yeah, I'm just basically trying to set myself up for a job, you know. So it's you know, my excuse is just my priorities are not on language learning right now. So, however people want to interpret that, like, oh my god, you're just fucking lazy. You don't want to fucking do anything. You're unmotivated. You know, it's just I got a bunch of other shit on my plate. You know, I'm trying to find jobs and going through interviews and you know doing my part-time work, doing freelancing work, and all this other stuff, man. Like, yeah, it just kind of is what it is. And also considering the option of going back to America, you know, also looking at jobs back in the States as well, and just kind of seeing what's all out there and what areas I could, you know, move into potentially if I got offered a job, you know. So, and that's a whole another set of circumstances, you know. So just kind of is what it is, you know. So right now I'm just looking to just getting a job, you know. It's just something to support my visa, give me a decent paycheck, and something that's not gonna bug me too much, you know. But it's always funny because usually when I'm in these sorts of situations, it's when like this big golden opportunity happens, um, and you know something comes up. So I have faith something will come up, you know. So it's not all doom and gloom. Like I said, I got some interviews set up for next week, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so the whole learning Japanese thing, like I said, and this will be the last I talk about the whole why aren't you learning Japanese thing. This will be the last I talk about on this stream. So the reason I'm not doing it right now is for as far as language schools go, I can't afford one right now. I'm looking into those options because there are some that you can apply for grants and stuff like that and get accepted into them. It is something I am looking into. There's a lot of moving parts involved with it, so it's not just a simple look around and find out sort of thing. It's a lot of stuff involved. And as far as just learning it myself, it's just not as big of a priority right now. It's something that I do want to learn, of course. But after, you know, I get a halfway serious job, and then once that's taken care of and you know the financials are a bit more stable, then that'll be the next phase, is getting serious about learning Japanese. But I just know that if I try it now, I mean, yeah, I could do like the hour a day on the Anki decks and stuff like that, but it would just be more advantageous to myself to wait to where I can make it a priority. Like, I have other stuff that's taking higher priority than learning Japanese right now. Even though, yes, I did admit that the reason I can't find a job is because I don't know enough Japanese. But, you know, there are jobs out there that don't require any Japanese. You know, I'm just having some trouble with some of the language, or the English teaching schools. And I'll just leave it at that. So, you know, we'll just move on from that topic. So, in any event, yeah, it's just one of them things. So, we'll just leave it at that. But regardless, you know, even though the situation's kind of dire right now, it's not impossible, you know. Like, especially with my skill set, you know, there's a lot of people looking for ways to, not looking for ways, but like looking for like video editing work and things like that, or looking for people who do video editing work. So I've also been doing that as well, just trying to find like some more freelance stuff, so that way, you know, get that going, and then just use that to either, you know, parlay that into a visa sponsored gig, or use that to like move back to America. You know, it just depends on the situation. Depends on who I'm editing for and how much they're paying me and all this other stuff. But right now I'm just trying to get my finances under control, and then we can just go from there. So, but in any event, yeah. But anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna get going here and work on some stuff. So, with that said, this is Andy. Sign out for now. As always, forever. See you next time. Catch you later, guys. Bye.